Welcome to our Wellness Wednesday Health Show. I'm your host, Dr. Kala Hewlett from the Back Pain and Joint Center of Texas. And this month is International Overdose Awareness Month. Still to this day, overdose continues to be an epidemic of just unseen proportions. Amongst adults, it continues to be the leading cause of death. In fact, it's the number one injury death we have right now in this country. More people die every year from overdoses than they do from car accidents, than they do from gun injuries. It continues again to be just a huge problem that many people are not speaking about. So today I'm excited to have on our show Jeff and Carrie from FOB Rasor, who are doing some really amazing things to bring awareness and attention to this, specifically in regards to veterans. Jeff, Carrie, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Glad to be here.
Now, I read a statistic off your website that is just, I've heard it before, but it still is just mind-blowing that every day there are 22 veterans who take their lives. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That number is actually probably a little low, but it's a 22, at least 22 veterans a day kill themselves.
That is just heartbreaking. And I know much of that is from overdose. So tell me a little bit more about FOB Rasor and the journey to how this came to pass.
All right. Well, FOB Rasor we became official doors open 2 years ago, but the plan started many years before that. And at the end of the day, it boils down to, in September of 2016, I found myself with a gun in my mouth and I was ready to pull the trigger. And I got help. My dog, believe it or not, intervened. And it gave me just enough intervention to go, oh no, I need to get some help. And, I ended up meeting a Korean War veteran who showed me how to change my life. And I began doing that. And 6 months into my recovery, my best friend, Joe Rasor, Joe and I fought on the battlefields together in Iraq and Afghanistan. And April of 2017, he killed himself. And I always knew after finding recovery myself that I needed to give. I wanted to figure out a way to give back. And my bride, Carrie Munson, asked me what we're going to do about it. And I explained to her what I wanted to do. She said, well, then by God, we're going to do it. And FOB Rasor was born, named after Forward Operating Base Rasor, named after my best friend, Joe Rasor.
Well, first, thank you for your service. And what an honor and tribute to your best friend to be able to use that tragedy to help others. So what is FOB Rasor as an organization?
We are a peer support, veteran-led, veteran-ran peer support network for veterans, and we cannot leave out the first responders. First responder community has a hard time with this, with statistically as well, as far as their people killing themselves. And so we are a peer support group for both veterans, first responders, and active. We even have active duty members that are of the military that are members.
Okay. Now, do you have, if someone's wanting to connect with you, or if I have a loved one or a friend who I know is struggling with this, what does it look like when they connect with your organization?
What it looks like for us is whether it's through another veteran or it's through myself, they reach us, we reach them. A lot of times we'll have people, third-party individuals saying, hey, I got a friend, Johnny, he needs your help. Will you talk to him? But what it looks like is we meet 3 times a week as of right now. We meet with veterans, groups of veterans and first responders. And we collectively, through peer support, we inspire with experience, strength, and hope. We also encourage buddy checks, which is a huge deterrent to keep veterans and first responders from killing themselves. We check on each other, we call each other, and those within the FOB, we call each other, but we also encourage our veterans and first responders to reach out to folks outside of the FOB every Friday and ask them, hey, you know, how you doing, Tom? How you doing, Bob? Haven't talked to you in 3 or 4 years. Just checking on folks. And that's just some of the things we do at FOB Razor. But that's what a daily or a weekly day in the life of FOB Razor is.
Okay, I love that concept of the check-ins, the buddy check-ins. Tell me more about the buddy check-ins.
You want me to?
Yeah, go ahead, Carrie.
Okay, so, you know, Jeff and I have a unique experience. We're both alcoholics, addicts, and we've both been in recovery for 6 years. So we have that personal experience of, you know, what it's like to kick that addiction and to live a sober life. And so we know firsthand how important it is to try to not do this by ourselves. That, you know, the constant pull of addiction is a, you know, sometimes it's a minute to minute struggle. And so having those buddy checks, those people you can call on, we have a recall roster, we call it, because we keep everything a little bit more military here, that you can call at any time to, you know, find that support. But some of us need that check-in first. And so we encourage at every meeting the members of FOB Razor to call and check on somebody in the group and somebody that they haven't spoken to in a while, because the reality is we don't know who's hurting. When you're in the midst of addiction, you know, alcohol abuse, suicidal, you're isolated in the grips of it. You're very, very isolated. So, you know, Jeff didn't know that Razor was hurting. And, you know, that's why we encourage that reach out to somebody new every week.
Okay, I love that. I think that is just that personal communication and reaching out. I just see the value in that. You know, we're coming. I remember last year at this time when we were doing our first overdose event, talking to some of the individuals in the county here in Montgomery County, and some of them shared with me the increase of suicides they saw just in relation to some of the effects of, you know, COVID-19 that it's had over the past couple of years. Have you seen any changes over the past couple of years as far as an increase of stress, even increase of suicidal tendencies with some of the stress that even post-COVID, just the world we're living in is very stressful. Have you seen any increase over the past couple of years?
I'll tell you this, sir. At FOB Razor, because we have FOB Razor and the people that are involved in FOB Razor, we call ourselves lifers for life. A lifer is somebody who's committed to the military. We're committed to life. We're committed to the military man and woman's life. And we have 136 people who are committed to staying alive, who are committed to dealing with the effects of post-traumatic stress and or addiction and everything that comes with it and staying alive regardless. So in that aspect, we are doing pretty good. However, I have lost more men due to killing themselves after their service is up than I have on the battlefield of 21 years of serving in the Marine Corps. So the issue is huge. And I think the data speaks to that the peer support, whether it's with FOB Razor or any other organization, the peer support system works because it for in a small test tube, so to speak, it's working for us.
Yeah. I just think you said 136 that you have involved, and I think that's 136 lives that you're saving, and the ripple effect. And those are right, men, women, right? Those are sons, daughters, parents, moms, dads. Like, that's huge. That is really huge. If someone wants to connect with you guys, is there a website? Is there a phone number? Do they just show up? What's the best way?
Look, I have one phone, and I will answer it if they call it 02 in the morning or if they call it 1400 in the afternoon. My phone number is 281-573-7250.
Okay.
They can reach me via email at Gunny, Gunny, at FOB Rasor. And Rasor is spelled with an S. It's a last name. So it's RASOR.org. And, you know, call, text, and anybody can go to our website if they're not writing this down and they Google FOB Rasor and go to our website. All this information is there at www.fobrasor.org.
Okay, perfect. We'll put links when we send this out to our community. So if you're listening to this right now, just scroll. We'll have a link so you can just click and go directly to their website and connect with Jeff and Carrie. Jeff, as we're wrapping up here, and Carrie, any last words you'd like to share with those that are listening today?
I think the big thing is it's just really important to not isolate. You know, drug and alcohol addiction, PTSD, suicidal thoughts, they are diseases of the mind. They're diseases of isolation, and it's super hard. We've been there. We know what it's like to feel like you don't want to reach out, but it's just really, really important to take that first step. It's literally will change your life by taking that next step. And, you know, if you're a loved one, you have to assume that you're the one person who's going to reach out to help them. So go ahead and have that conversation. Talking about suicide, you know, that's in our world and people don't want to talk about it. But the reality is if you talk about it, you can stop it. It is prevention to talk about what you're feeling, and it is the first step. So assume you're the only one who's going to, you know, make that contact and reach out, and just do it.
Okay. Love it. Thank you, Carrie. Jeff, any of the last thoughts?
Yeah, I'd like to piggyback off of what Carrie said, and the fact that, you know, suicide, people killing themselves, there's tells. If we look at the suicide, those who commit suicide as if they had a heart attack or a stroke, there's tells, there's issues going on prior to. We just have to locate them. We have to find out what they are, find out how they're acting, their peculiarities, and figure out what's going on. And like Carrie said, you have to ask. If you think somebody is thinking about hurting themselves, or even worse, killing themselves or overdosing or whatever it is, you have to act like you're the only person that's man or woman enough to get up there and ask them, because in some cases, in many cases, you are.
Yeah. Wonderful. Carrie, Jeff, again, I can't thank you guys both enough for the work you're doing. You know, I just think the sacrifices that our veterans make in so many respects to service, and then to come back and not die on the battlefield, but die because of suicide and the challenges that come, whether it's from addiction or other vices and problems, PTSD and so forth. So thank you for being a local resource here in our community to help those veterans. For those of you guys that are listening, again, we have our overdose awareness walkathon. It's going to be Saturday, August 13th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. We're going to have lots of different people. Are y'all going to be out there that day with us?
Yep, we will be there.
Okay, perfect. We're going to have, you know, FOB Rasor along with others support groups are going to be out there. Please come just to show your support. But if you know someone who is struggling, who you think might even be struggling, bring them out there, help connect them with FOB Rasor. Let them know they are not alone and there is help for them. So we hope to see y'all there. Until next time, we wish you guys the absolute and best in health and wellness. And Carrie and Jeff, again, we thank you for the great work that you're doing here in our community with our veterans.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Honored.